Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kasyet dukkha bhag bhavet, durjana sajjano bhuyat, sajjana shantim apnuyat, shanto muccita bandhibhyo, muktasyannan vimochayat. May all be happy. May all be free from disease. May all realize what is good. May none be subject to misery. May the wicked become virtuous. May the virtuous attain tranquility. May the tranquil be free from bonds. May the freed make others free. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace into all. This morning our subject is Stories of Vedanta Monks, part 25. As you know, it is a series of lectures based on the old monks of the Ramakrishna order, who were the disciples of Holy Mother, Swami Vivekananda, Swami Brahmananda, and they are the direct disciples. Last few years ago, I worked on these people, and we produced 2 volumes like this. Prachin Sadhuder Katha, 1040 pages in 2 volumes. Nearly 130 monks, their stories, their life experiences, all these things we put in these volumes. Which is in Bengali now. First volume has already been translated. It will be published in due time. Anyhow, the life of the monks and seekers of God is very precious. Although they live in the world, but they are not of the world. Their life, their minds soar very high. In the spiritual realm, and they invite others to join with them. So their companies are very, very precious. Shankara mentions these 3 things are rare in human life. First, human birth. It is not easy to get a human birth. Second, the company of a great soul. And third, a burning desire for liberation in this life. Manushyatam, mumukshuttam, mahapurusha samshaya. If you have these 3, always remember, you are a blessed soul. You are a very special person. Human birth, desire for liberation, and the company of a great soul. These monks are like stormy petrel. These birds live in the cleft of the mountains near the seashore. When the storm starts, they go and fly against the wind, gusty winds. They go upside down and they fight. They love to fight against wind. That is their game. Perhaps you have seen some Air Force, their aeroplane show. They all go up, down, they roll, and all. They play with the plane. So these birds are very special. They fly against nature. Similarly, these holy men, they go against the current of Maya. Sri Ramakrishna used to say, if you enter the house, you put your key this way and this move this direction. But the gate, the door of God, you will have to go just reverse, against the current of Maya. So those things we learn from these monks. How to do it. These people, 50 years, 60 years, 70 years, their struggle, their experiences, the pitfalls in spiritual life, they tell us which one will work, which one will not work. It is very, very important to know these people. These fascinating stories of these Vedanta monks inspire us. These monks, as I mentioned, they belong to this second generation. Ramakrishna came as an avatar, then he trained his disciples. Those disciples trained this group of monks. So they are the second generation. And we are the third generation. We learned from them that how they were trained by the direct disciples of Sri Ramakrishna. They saw the blazing fire of renunciation and purity, unselfishness and dedication for the good of humanity. That is the way they found fulfillment in life. Everybody wants fulfillment in life. I sometimes think this way. Suppose you went to a gas station, or a grocery shop, you bought a lottery ticket and you hit the jackpot. Overnight you got perhaps 70, 80 millions of dollars with a $2 lottery ticket. You become rich overnight. Or perhaps you inherit your parents' wealth. You become rich overnight without making any extra effort. Similarly, I feel that these monks' experiences, these valuable life stories, we got without making any effort. Before Sri Ramakrishna's centenary in 1936-37, Swami Abhinashananda, who was the secretary of the centenary committee, Ramakrishna centenary, he went to M, who recorded the gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, and asked him, "Sir, give us some idea that how we shall produce a very important commemoration volume of Sri Ramakrishna's birth centenary." It was M died in 1932. M told him, I shall read to you. The soul of dharma is tapas. Dharma means religion, spirituality. Soul is tapas, tapasya, austerity, practice, spiritual practice. Sri Ramakrishna was the embodiment of austerities. If you can travel all over India and collect descriptions of the spiritual experiences from all renouncing monks, that collection would be the best memorial volume on Sri Ramakrishna. The Ramakrishna order is based on the austerities of Swamiji, Swami Brahmananda, and other monastic disciples of the Master. Do you know how do I look at it? You are an open-heart surgeon in a countryside hospital. You do surgery perhaps maybe once or twice a year. And here is our Missouri Baptist Hospital. Here is another surgeon. He does open heart surgery almost every day. He has good hands, he has tremendous experience. So instead of your countryside open heart surgeon, I shall go to Missouri Baptist. Because I know this person has a wide range of experience and he will do right. So these monks keep religion alive through practice. They practice every day, not only every day, most of the day. And that is the way their spiritual experiences are very vibrant. Wide range of experience. I am just telling you that why these life stories of these people are important. For my early life, I was very curious to know about these monks. Especially, we used to know some itinerant monks, besmeared with ashes, matted hair. So sometimes I used to think, where do you live? What do they eat? Who provides food, clothing to them? When they become sick, how do they manage? These people 100% depend on God and God alone. And God provides everything for them. So I was very curious to know about these people. Sometimes when in our village any mendicants come, we used to bake food for them. But I met a Swami in Benares in 1970. He was in the Himalayas for 30 years. And he gave his collection to me. That you will find in this book and the other volume also. He recorded the Swami Sri Ramakrishna's, this second generation monks also. He was in Benares. There also he collected a lot of materials. Anyhow, those are the stories I shall tell you. Today I shall tell you about Swami Parameshananda, Dharani Maharaj. I knew him. I remember I was in Benares, I think in 1982. And I was in the guest house. And the Swami used to walk. We have retirement home in Benares, in Belur Math, in Bangalore, in 3 places. When the monks become old, retired, sick, we put them there. So he was a retired Swami, and he used to walk every day. We have a big hospital in Benares. In the big compound, he used to move around. After a few circles, he used to come and sit on the steps of the guest house. So I asked Maharaj, do you walk every day? Yes, I walk every day. Otherwise, do you know what will happen? I will not be able to walk anymore. I will be just room-bound, bed-bound. So I do not keep up my habit. Never give up your habit. Good habit, you must hold on. He told me. And the good habit, if you leave one after another, it will depart from you. And if you hold your habits, they will shape your character. Never give up your good habits. That forms the character. You know, while walking, he gave a piece of wisdom. If you do that, they always think good for others. The Swami narration. There was a disciple of Holy Mother who was very sick. Then he was convalescing in Madhupur, maybe 70, 80 miles from Calcutta in the west. And he was a disciple of Holy Mother, and he came to see Holy Mother. The mother said, "My son, now you are well. Why don't you come from the devotee's house to the monastery? Mother, they take care of me very well, and I am very happy there, this and that." Holy Mother became very grave. She did not say anything. After a couple of months, that monk came back and said, Mother, monastic life is not for you. He returned his ochre cloth and went back home. Holy Mother told her other disciples and monks, look, if a monk lives with the household atmosphere, he imbibes their atmosphere, and that brings degradation to the monks. Monks should live in the monastery. That is a great lesson for the monks. Then he told about another learned monk, great Vedanta monk. He used to give classes on Vedanta philosophy. So when any householder would come to learn Vedanta from him, he would say, don't come to me. Do you know why? I shall talk to you only renunciation. You have wife or children. My teachings will be good for you. You must go to a Pandit, a scholar. He will mellow down the renunciation. And then, he will talk it, and some people mellow down. So you go to the Pandits. I'll have to give this fiery renunciation to the monks. You cannot tolerate it, Then that reminded me a story of Swami Vivekananda and Turiyananda in Bombay in 1893. It was in Bombay. Swamiji was not well. Devotees came. Turiyananda gave a fantastic talk to them, full of renunciation. When the class was over, Swamiji said to Turiyananda, brother, what did you do? These people have wife, children, family. You gave all lessons which is for the monks. If I give monastic lessons to you, it will not work. You give all lessons for the monks to these devotees. Always remember, in the Gospel of Ramakrishna, there are some teachings which are for the monks. And there are some teachings which are for householders. If you indiscriminately try to imbibe all teachings, you will be confused. Take those things which suit you. They are avatars. They will have to give food for all kinds of people in the society. Some Christian people, they're fundamentalists, they take every word of the Bible. They get confused. Jesus says, sell whatever you have, then follow me. Can you follow the teaching? Sell whatever you have and then follow me. That is for the monastics. And again, love thy Lord with all thy soul. That is for the devotees. Don't get confused. When I sometimes say the Vedantic teachings, take which is suitable for you. Don't try to swallow everything. Sri Ramakrishna used to tell the Brahmas, listen, I told you whatever I feel. Now you give the head and tail of the fish and take the essential part. That's Sri Ramakrishna said. Naja, do you know how the Ramakrishna's expression? Naja muro bad diye now. Here is the whole fish, give up the head and give up the tail, and take the essential part. So Sri Ramakrishna says, I told you what is right. Now you take that portion which suits you. That is the way it works. As I sometimes say, if I take the medicine indiscriminately, I shall die. Only the doctor knows which is suitable for me. That is the way it works. Swami continued. This Swami was a worshipper in the shrine. That was his duty. And there was another Swami who was a very, very powerful and very explosive, He was telling, there's so many women here. He used some very disrespectful word for women. And Swami Sharadananda, Ramakrishna's disciple, he overheard that statement of that Swami. In the evening, that monk was bowing to the Holy Mother's shrine, sipping the sanctified water. You come to my room, Swami Sharadhananda told that monk. He went to his room and said, let me tell you, this place belongs to Holy Mother. Holy Mother's house in Bagbajar. Here devotees come, women come. You should not use such disrespectful words to the women. If you do, I shall leave this place. You know, that is one beautiful thing I watched. Easily he could remove that Swami from the ashrama. He was the general secretary of the whole Ramakrishna order, direct disciple of Sri Ramakrishna. But how beautifully said, if you use any derogatory or disrespectful word against women, I shall leave this place. And that monk was shivering. You know how to change people instead of hurting. It is a special technique. Through humility, at the same time very strong voice, don't do it anymore. That he wanted to say. 1st December 1979, Varanasi. This is all from the diaries. I was then, what the Swami says, I was then working in Udbodhan. At 2 o'clock, an actress came from Calcutta, and it was Udbodhan also in North Calcutta. So she came to see Swami Sharadhananda. Swami was resting. So I gave her a seat. She did not sit on a seat, she sat on the floor. And she was talking and waiting when Swami will get up, she will meet her, in meeting. Her name was Tara Sundari. She brought a lot of sweets and fruits and flowers for the master. So I told her that, I saw your acting in Star Theatre, in the Prafullo drama of Girish Chandra Ghosh. This Girish Chandra Ghosh's book. He wrote nearly 90 plays, and he was a famous actor, a Bohemian devotee of Sri Ramakrishna. I shall talk about you. Please, why don't you tell us some of your acting, some lines of your play? We'd like to hear from you. So she was talking. Let me read you. You will get a beautiful... Tara. Swami, I am glad that you enjoyed the women's performances in the play. They act in such a way that the audience feels they are like goddesses. You are a young monk, so you don't know what a sinful life they lead. As they act, tears flow through one eye and a smile shines through the other. You will have to understand. In Calcutta, women started to play the women's role in 1870s. Men would act in the women's role. It is Michael Madhusudan Datta introduced. At that time, no girl from good family will come to the theatre. No way. Very Puritan Orthodox people. So where will you get the girls? Red light district. Red light district. So these girls, mothers are all, in that profession. But these girls are extremely talented, genius. So Girish collected them and hired them and made them famous actresses. I wrote one chapter of this book, 3 stars, Binodini, Tara Sundari, Teen Kodi. If you read that chapter, you will be overwhelmed. that how these girls' lives were transformed by Sri Ramakrishna, Holy Mother, and the Charity disciples. Tara was a famous actor, she was the top actress. What happened when Brahmananda died in 1922? He was so shocked, he gave up acting. Swami Shivananda says, no, you should not give up acting, you must continue. You are helping so many people acting in these beautiful roles. So she bought a plot of land in Bhubaneswar, where Brahmananda built a big monastery. Let me tell you, I went there in 1982, I went to her home. She died in 1949. But I met her daughter and grandson. And she built a small temple in her property, Ramakrishna temple. Swami Shivananda went there. Think of that. This girl's life is not very pure. But Sri Ramakrishna's disciple went there to install Ramakrishna's picture there. And Swami Shubhadananda went to see her. Could not see in the house. Then she went, the Swami, Ramakrishna's disciple, peeped through the window of her shrine and saw she was singing and dancing in front of Sri Ramakrishna. Master, whatever talent you gave to me, that I am presenting to you. And that reminded me a story of Barnaby. I think perhaps Our Lady's Juggler. I think when we were in school, I think 10th grade, I read that story. He was a juggler. On the stage, he used to play and show in the public place and the park to get some money. So one Catholic father, seeing this poor man, took him to the monastery, made him a cook. And he was not very happy, but at noontime, when nobody is in the sanctuary, in the church, she started to play with her gown, with a play in front of the Virgin Mary and Jesus. The monks noticed it, and the abbot came and was about to throw him out from the monastery, found that Virgin Mary descended from the throne and started to wipe his perspiration with her cloth. The monk was overwhelmed. That's a fascinating story. Our Lady's Juggler. Perhaps you can Google it, find out. The name of that juggler was Barnaby. So that reminded me, this girl was showing all her acting talent in front of Sri Ramakrishna. Master, whatever talent you gave me, with that I want to worship you. Swami Shubhadananda came without disturbing her. When she was dying, she asked her daughter, read Gita to me. My goodness. That is one actress. Another actress, Binodini. This girl, she used to come to Swami Brahmananda. Swami initiated her, this girl. And Binodini, Sri Ramakrishna initiated her in a way. It was in 1884, September. Sri Ramakrishna went to Star Theatre to see Sri Chaitanya Leela. And there, this girl acted in the role of Chaitanya. Girl acted in man's role. And Sri Ramakrishna was overwhelmed. Sri Ramakrishna said, after the play, Ashol, Nakol, Ag Dekhlum. The original and the what is it? Nakol means imitation, both are the same. If you see a real custard apple and the picture of the perhaps imitation custard apple, both are the same to Sri Ramakrishna, but to us, two are different. So Sri Ramakrishna saw in that girl a real Chaitanya. And Sri Ramakrishna blessed her, putting his hands on his head, on her head. Bolo Hari Guru, Guru Hari, Hari Guru, Guru Hari. That mantra she got from Sri Ramakrishna. Whole life was changed. Same thing, Tinkudi. The Swami also mentioned about Tinkudi's name. That story, she came one day to the Udbodhan I'm just giving you some glimpses so that you can understand that how transformation comes in spiritual life by the association of these great souls. It is from another monk's diary. It was 9:30 a.m. We were then busy working downstairs. Suddenly we heard Tinkuri's sweet, melodious voice, another actress, singing in the China tune. She came and Holy Mother was asking her, could you sing a song for us? I saw Billamangal drama. In that drama you acted in the role of that mad woman. You acted in that role and you sang a song. Could you repeat that song to us? So she is singing that song to Holy Mother in Udbodhan. The Swami says, when I went upstairs, I noticed that Holy Mother had finished her worship and was listening to the song, sitting on the floor. Tinkuri sat on the little veranda near the entrance of the master's shrine. We felt that her overflowing devotion was reverberating throughout the entire house through her singing. This is the song. He, Krishna, travels holding my hand. Wherever I go, he follows me. Even if I don't ask him to. The Holy Mother looked at the Master and then closed her eyes. After a while, she opened her eyes, but we felt she was indrawn. Her eyes are open, but she was not seeing anything. Tinkuri continued. He, Krishna, wipes my face with great care and intently looks at my face. When I smile, he smiles, and when I cry, he cries. How lovingly he takes care of me. The whole house was completely still, as if no one was there. Everyone was overwhelmed and absorbed in an exalted mood. Was it the influence of Tinkuri's singing or the Holy Mother's spiritual power? Who could say? Tinkuri finished the last lines of the song. So I came to know who says that the precious one does not exist. Come and see for yourself whether it is true or false. He is talking to me with great love. The Holy Mother exclaimed in an ecstatic mood, aha, aha. Tinkuri finished her singing. The Holy Mother remained in that condition for a while, and silence prevailed everywhere. Then she wiped her eyes and said to Tinkuri, what a beautiful song you have sung today, my child. Beautiful stories. Change of life. Chetanananda got up from his rest. He received that Tara and talked to her. As I told you, Tara Sundari's life was transformed. Do you know how to look about sometimes in spiritual life? Where your mind, there you are. If your mind, if your body is in a bad place, but mind in God, you are in God. Or if your mind is in the shrine, your mind is in a bad place, there you are. That's Sri Ramakrishna said. Where is your mind? There you are. Two friends were going, and one friend saw that somebody was explaining Bhagavatam, so he attended that spiritual class on the Bhagavatam. Another monk went to the house of the ill-fame. And the person who is in the ill-fame, he was thinking, why I am here? My friend is enjoying a spiritual atmosphere and listening to God. And the man who is in the spiritual atmosphere, he was thinking, what I am doing here and listening, blah, 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 and this, and my friend is having a nice time in that place. Just see, these two persons living in two places, thinking just opposite. That is the way spiritual life works. Where is your mind? There you are. 16th March 1980, Benares. Oh, and then another small story I forgot to tell. That no, still 14th March 1980. 2-3 incidents more. Swami was cautioning this young monk, Paramahansa, never hate any woman. They are the embodiment of the Divine Mother. Always respect them. You will not have to, you are a young monk, not necessarily you will have to go and establish friendship with them, but when they come, you must respect them, receive them. Some monks are, very uptight. I was in Calcutta, I was making a joke. I claim, monks do not come from the womb of the monks, they come from the womb of women. You should not hate women. The monk's body doesn't come from the womb of the monks. And all are laughing. Then he was talking that, there was one brahmachari, Ganen Maharaj. He was a manager and cashier, and he used to give his bag to him every evening at 8 o'clock. Then Sharadananda observed it and said, every evening when you meditate, that Ganen brings the bag and gives to you. Could you tell me what is in this bag? Well, I don't know, Swami. He gives me the bag, I put it in his room. No, there is money there. Henceforth, don't take his bags. If there is any, he may blame you that you took away some money. I shall not be able to face it. The Swami is cautioning this young monk, be careful about women and be careful about money. That is the lesson this young man got. Then he said about Ramalal Dada, Sri Ramakrishna's nephew. If anybody would bow down to him, he would say, Jai Ram Krishna, Jai Ram Krishna. Then he said, but why do you say God's name when somebody bows down to you? He said, do you know why? My uncle, Sri Ramakrishna, told me that you worship Mother Kali. For that reason, people come and respect you and take dust off your feet. At that time, repeat God's name, so that these devotees' love, respect will go to God. See how they train, so that you will not be puffed up. I am the big priest of the Kali, so that your ego will go down. These little lessons we learn that how to act and behave in spiritual life. Ego is number one enemy. I am the main priest, I am the Swami here, big things. I do not have that feeling. Then 16th March 1980, Varanasi. In the evening, Swami Sharadananda, after the Vesper, he would sit in the living room downstairs, and all people would come after the Vesper service and bow down to him, and he would talk if anybody has any questions. There was one Swami, his name was Purnananda, he was a doctor. He made a remark, Maharaj, these monks now, modern monks, they are no good. Swami Sharadananda was telling, look, Sri Ramakrishna was so blessed that he got some good monks, and now you see what kind of disciples I am getting. He was complaining. But yes, they are like jewels, Maharaj. Then he told another reminiscences. Swami Shuddhananda, a disciple of Swami Vivekananda, asked Swamiji when he returned from America, Swamiji, could you give me some samadhi, spiritual experience? Swamiji replied, look, at present I do not have that power. When I was in America, I lectured and my rajas has gone up. very high work is moving inside my system. If I want to give, by chance I can change your life, then I'll have to go to the Himalayas and do more tapasya. Then I shall come and then I can charge. Then, but let me tell you, if Swami Brahmananda has that power, why don't you go and ask him? So he went to Brahmananda. Brahmananda said, he was making jokes. And he said, no. Then when he pressed me, let me be frank with you. Time to time that power dwells comes on me. At that time, if you come, I can touch you. But not now. In that connection, there is another story. There was a young monk, he was very rough. Very naughty, very rough, very quarrelsome. So Swami Premananda was the manager of the monastery. He grabbed that monk and took him to Swami Brahmananda. Maharaj, please put your hand on the head of this monk. He is incorrigible. I got no discipline. He only fights and quarrels. You put your hand on his head. Swami Brahmananda says, brother, why don't you put your hand on his head? Well, my hand doesn't work. Then he grabbed this monk and took near Swami Brahmananda and took Brahmananda's hand and put on his head. Immediately Brahmananda was in a high mood. Then he pushed that monk and Swami Premananda said, Maharaj, now put my head on my head. And he put his hand on it. Then he called all monks, hey, come. Maharaj in great mood, take his blessing. So all monks come and bow down and he blessed them. Then at last a devotee came late, he got up. Then Maharaj, will you not touch me? No. Jo aaya, wo chala gaya. The power which came, again left me. Which is Sri Ramakrishna's power. Came and again it left me. Just see. It is beautiful. Do you know when I read these stories, how I feel? Most people teach religion. But these people can give religion. Their one touch, one glance can change person's life. They are spiritual giants. He told another story that once a young man came in Balloon March. In the living room, he was reading something. Swami Brahmananda came, look at me. And immediately he looked at him and Swami Brahmananda touched his Brahmarandra. Here, this is the crown. He touched that place and that person immediately went into deep samadhi. Then he left. He never came back again. Then Swami recorded that Swami Vijnananda was suffering from insomnia. And his insomnia left him. He read an article by Mahatma Gandhi in the Young India magazine. So Gandhi mentioned his reminiscences that how he got rid of that insomnia. But I used to imagine that I am sleeping in an open space and there was a rain and that rain was coming from the slope of the mountain and a flock of sheep moving to that direction. In this way I used to imagine that calm, cold, these things, slowly I fall into a sleep. And second way to get rid of this insomnia is learn how to stop the mind. Stop the mind. Vrittihin karo मन के. No thought. And forcefully if you can hold on, insomnia will go away. Then Swami said, do you know what? Then Swami asked, how long did you fight to get rid of this insomnia? 14 days. Within 2 weeks, that insomnia disappeared from me. Well, Gandhi wrote that it took 6 months for him to fight against the insomnia. Then he mentioned, there are so many things to learn. But those who are pigeon-chested, it is hard for them to be highly spiritual. Pigeon-chested. Why? Well, their lungs are small. If you want to breathe that pranayama, lungs expand, contracts. It needs big rib cage. He was telling this is the way one can get higher spiritual experiences. Then Swami said, I was in Bankura, near Jairambati. There I found Swami Joginma was meditating. Joginma was a woman disciple of Sri Ramakrishna. He was meditating. Flies sat on her eyes and, biting. She sat motionless. No movement of the body. Then Chetanananda said, what are you watching? Maharaj, I am watching. That how she was meditating. She has no body consciousness. But that is the way one should meditate. Transcend the body consciousness. When Swami Vivekananda used to meditate in Kashipur Garden House, he sat, his whole body was full of mosquito, like a blanket of mosquito. No body consciousness. If we have a little itching there, we immediately mind goes there. We learn. These are the stories help us to imagine when we have been in trouble. Why am the mind is disturbing? What is happening? How to get rid of the body idea. I sometimes say, whether you are spiritual or not, test is lack of body consciousness. Second, unselfishness. We Swami Sharadhan say, we saw Sri Ramakrishna after Samadhi. He used to breathe long. After Kumbhaka, when my breath stops, then to bring the system normal, you will have to breathe long way few times. Then again your breathing, exhaling and inhaling will be normal. That is the way one can practice spiritual disciplines. The Swami says, Swami Sharadananda sometimes tell us many stories of Jesus. One day he told this story to us, that whoever will come to my garden and remove the weeds, I shall give him 1 penny. Some people came in the morning, removed the weeds till after evening, 1 penny. Some came at 10 o'clock, some 12 o'clock, some 2 o'clock, some 3 o'clock, some 4 o'clock. Everybody got 1 penny. So the people who came first, they complained, hey, these people came only, they worked only 1 hour, and we worked 9, 10 hours, and we got 1 penny. The owner of the garden said, I promised, whoever comes to my garden will get 1 penny. That is my promise. The Swamis, do you know what Swami said? Some people think that we came to Ramakrishna first, and those who came later, they all will get 1 penny. All will get Ramakrishna's blessing and liberation. That's Swami Sharadananda said. Those who are coming now to Sri Ramakrishna, they also will get that 1 penny. You know how the disciples inspired. This is a beautiful teaching of Jesus. Udbodhan, this Dr. Swami, Swami Purnananda, he was in Udbodhan. Do you know those monks who in Udbodhan, those who could not adjust with other places, they would come to Swami Sharadananda and Holy Mother. That is their sanctuary. All the odd monks, crazy, half crazy, don't think all monks are illumined. We are all variety, man. So, those who could not adjust with others, they would come to Swami Sharadananda and Holy Mother. Their love, their compassion mellowed them down and they behaved very well. Love only can change a person, not rule or thrashing or scolding. It does not work. Anyhow, Purnananda was telling Sharadanandaji, Maharaj, these boys have no common sense, they are all stupid, and this Dr. Swami was scolding. The Sharadananda overheard that words. No common sense, no common sense. Then Sharad Maharaj sat in his room. Hello, doctor. You are talking about common sense. Could you tell me what it means? He could not explain what common sense is. Could you? Acha, doctor, common sense kake bolte paro? Can you say what is meant by common sense? The Dr. Maharaj was non-plussed, he could not answer. Then Swami Sharadananda explained. That word common sense is a foreign word. In the Western society, parents teach their children manners, customs in day-to-day life. I remember when I came to Hollywood, Swami Prabhupada, we used to eat in the dining table. Swami Prabhupada would ask the monks then, please pass the salt, please pass the rice, thank you. Those are all Western etiquette. I remember one monk told me, Swami, in my home, my mother used to give me something. If I would not say thank you, my mother will stand there. David, you did not tell thank you. Mother, thank you. This is the way Western society, the parents teach manners, customs, etiquette to their children. I have a book, Miss Manners book, I have in my room. I have Anne Langer's book, J.R. Abbey's book. I read those things to understand what is going in American society. Don't think I'm illiterate. I read American history, I know. So Swami Sharadananda is explaining. Now, in our part of the country, in India, common sense means Viveker Jagriti. Please watch these two words. Jagriti means awakening of Viveka, discriminatory power. Power of discrimination. Awakening the power of discrimination. That is common sense from Indian standpoint. I never told my mother, thank you, and my father, please. They are my love, even though we do not use those words. But the way we shake the dust of their feet and they bless us, those are things, you see, every society has their own customs and manners. When Swamiji came here, do you know what? Most of the early part of lecture Swamijis in America will say manners and customs of India, women of India. Those are the people Swamiji was telling to the American people in the 1890s. Anyhow, so Sharadananda explained Viveka Jagriti, awakening of the consciousness, awakening of the discrimination. If you school a child, they will rebel, it is not good for the way to change them. Then he says, these boys, those who are here, I can throw them out. They will move around in the society, I try to absorb them. Living with me, they will learn and learn and learn. And that is the way transformation comes in their lives. Forbearance is very important. Swami was asking Swami Arupananda, who was a disciple of Mother, you should go to Bhubaneswar and take the responsibility of the monastery. He wanted to make him the head. The Swami declined. No, Swami, that is not my job. I cannot do that. Then Sharadananda, he was the Jan secretary, he said, look, those who are capable, they are unwilling to take the position. And those who are not capable, they are demanding, hankering after position. But look, we'll have to continue the Master's and Swamiji's work. We need some monks. We need some good devotees, those who will continue, help this work. And if we don't, other people will come and fill up the gap. Many are called, but few are chosen. Blessed you are, you got the privilege to serve. He was talking, somebody saying that somebody praised Swami Sharadananda that after Swamiji is passing away, you took the helm of the monastic order, so it moved very smoothly. But what do you mean? It is not me. It is Swami Brahmananda. Through his spiritual power, he consolidated this power and made this organization move slowly without any friction. But if you see, living near Swamiji and working with him, we understood him very little. But millions of Vivekananda is not one particle of Sri Ramakrishna. Now think of that, who is Swamiji and who was Sri Ramakrishna. Pass up to this today. This story is really very small, but pregnant with ideas and disciplines and inspiration. Sometimes when problem comes, we can see the answer. These things answers us. This is the way you face. Thank you. Sato ma satgamayo, tamaso ma jyotirgamayo, mrityurma amritam gamayo, avirabirma yedhi, rudra jatte dakshinamukam, tinamam pahi nityam, om shanti shanti shanti. Lead us from the unreal to the real, lead us from darkness to light, lead us from death to immortality, light us through and guide us evermore with thy loving presence. Peace, peace, peace be full.